Jesus.
Do you have a list?
I never do. Welcome, one and all, to the Machine Room Podcast. I was too loud there, and I apologize. 100% I apologize. I was in the red when it comes to the bar meter over here. My bad. For reals, not for fakes. But yes, welcome to the Machine Room Podcast. I'm your host Nostradamus, and as well with me, your other host, the hostess with the mostest, who look like you got a new backdrop, Hammer of Venus. You changed, huh? You changed room? Is that what he said?
No, I just moved my computer around. So now it's like facing a wall.
You changed rooms. We'll go with that.
There you go.
Make it more something else. She bought a whole new house, and now she's
Yeah, just for the show.
yeah, just for the show. Now she has a whole new office just for the show. It's beautiful. It's coming along very well, very well. I like the headphones hanging off the monitor back there. It's great shit.
Exactly.
Great shit. But yes, we've been gone for a while and we apologize, but life I'm trying to get my Goldblum on.
Right
Life
away.
finds a way. So, but we're back here, and we've been wanting to be here for the longest, man. We haven't talked, like literally, we haven't talked about this. Um, don't die, not right now, not yet,
Not just yet.
not just yet. Um, what we wanted has finally happened. We were very excited about this since last year, since they were all like, since Zack Snyder himself was like, it exists, here it is, and people were asking for it, and it was announced, and we were like, let's go. So last week, right? Correct? Last week it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, last week the Zack Snyder's Justice League dropped, and we commenced to watch it. Now, Hammer of Venus beat me, and she watched it first because
I did.
I had to. I wanted to watch it off a projector on the wall and whatnot. So we were busy and it couldn't happen until it came out to be Saturday night. But what a ride. And we will get
Oh
right to
my
that. But first, a shout out to Spendog being the first person to freaking comments right here. Shout out to you, Spendog. You a real one. Not everybody's just gonna leave it because they're like, oh my god, they use air horns.
God. Yes.
Fucking fantastic. Fucking fantastic. Look, when Rachel texts me, well, the first thing you text me about was like, oh, why is it 4x3?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? And I thought there was something wrong with Disney Plus. I was like, let me try to watch something else. And I watched another movie and it was in widescreen. So I was like, I'm going to contact them. So I got on Twitter and contacted, um, what was it? Is it Disney Plus? No.
Some shit, I don't know.
Where did we watch it?
HBO Max.
HBO Max, that's it.
There you go,
So
not
I
Disney Plus.
contacted HBO Max on Twitter and was like, what the fuck? And they were like, oh, that was the way that the director envisioned it. I was like, whatever, shove it up your ass.
I mean, it does. You didn't pay attention to the beginning when it's like, this is how.
Yeah, I totally didn't. I was doing something else.
Yeah, you came to me about it, and I didn't quite know exactly. I just seen, I see people talking. I saw people talking about it. I
Yeah.
was all excited and whatever, and I saw someone mention like 4x3, 4x3, and I just like, oh, whatever. And then you told me it's like the movie's a 4x3. I was like, what? Like my reaction was like, what? And I looked it
Yeah.
up, and I got the answer, and it was like that was how he filmed it. He envisioned it to be on IMAX, and it just how it was and how it was presented and how he showed it to everybody. And the reason for it is because he felt it was more like it showed more. It was more of the comic book panel kind of way, and that's why you always get a lot of people just like standing. Like he gets a lot of vertical
Yeah,
shots. You know what? Like when you watch it in black and white, it makes more sense.
really.
Like yes, like it feels like an old black and white film. You know, like how it made
Mhm.
like that, and it's like the shots are more cinematic. Like you get, my fiance was like, she saw me watching it. She's like, why? And I was like, you. It's not for everyone. It's for like those like cinephiles or film fanatics. You know, people
Right.
who like that kind of like
Old school.
artistic film feel about it, and it really truly has that look and feel when it's black and white and in that four by
Mhm.
three kind of format. I
Yeah.
also told you it's like it's not gonna affect me much because it's gonna be fucking huge as hell for me, so
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
I watched it on a tiny 32-inch TV, so I was like, "This
Oh,
movie's tiny."
but you still enjoyed it,
I fucking loved it. I think I only paused it twice. It was like to pee and get food.
and that's the joy of it. We could take our sweet time watching it.
Yep,
We could
I
take our
did.
sweet time. Uh,
It was worth every penny. Like,
oh, so worth it, and we're gonna fucking like geek out like crazy on this shit. Just plain Dro, shout outs to you. You said we need a Nas cut. My cut, my only cut. Everything is great. Um, yeah, no, I don't know what the hell I changed. I mean, if anything, I'll add more Superman, but I think if it felt good. Like he came in like at a good point, and you could tell the difference. Like I like I like the Whedon Superman, when he came out because it was more Superman, like he came
I didn't
out.
like the whole lip thing, but yeah.
The lip thing, no, I didn't like that at all. But I like the
No.
attitude. Like he finally, like he came out, he was chipper, he was in a good mood, and
Yeah.
blah blah and all that shit. I like that.
I love when they're all in Batman's hideout and they're talking about Superman without ever saying his name, and the Flash is like, "Are we talking about who I think we're talking about?" And they
Uh-huh.
start playing his music.
That shit got me. Like it's like I'm thinking it. I know I'm thinking it, but who's gonna say it?
Yeah.
And then Cyborg just does the hologram of Superman. The
Yep.
camera just pans around them, looking at this and the music, and it was just like the music on this movie was on point.
Oh, it's amazing.
Was so on point. People were constantly making fun of. Like I've seen videos where they make fun of the fact that every time Wonder Woman got on, it was that oh, like some like
Yeah.
big operatic female singing and shit like that. And I'm like, why you guys making fun of it? Like that's her theme song and it sounded dope. And all it made me think of, to be honest, all it made me think of is Xena and her theme
Right.
song, like the oh, oh. I know I have a beautiful voice
You
and
do.
I sound just like the Xena theme song. But when when I watched it, like I said, I wanted to be a big thing, the projector and all that stuff. And you paused twice. I paused just once. We saw two parts, right? We got through two parts. At the end of part two, we were like, all right, let's stop and go get something to eat, and then
Mhm.
watch the rest while eating. And when we paused it at two, we were like, holy shit, that was just an hour in because it felt forever.
It does.
you know? Like the first time watching it feels forever. The second time went quicker. The third time felt even faster. Like the more I watch it, it's just going by quicker and quicker. My nephew said he watched it like 6 times already. I'm like, damn,
Oh
how?
my god.
I'm like
I've only
proud as
watched it
fuck.
once.
I'm proud as hell he watched it 6 times. I'm also kind of low key mad as fuck he watched it 6 times. Like that should be my record, not your
Right.
record. I'm the one constantly checking this movie out because I can't get tired of it. But yeah,
Exactly.
we went all through it, and I know by the end, my fiance and her brother were like getting tired, but I was still like wide awake. They loved it. We all enjoyed it very much.
Oh,
I was
good.
just blown away by just like when you said, "Oh my god, it's real good." I was like, okay. I know it's good then because you and me, we got the same taste in these movies. We know
Mhm.
they're freaking masterpieces. I went and watched Man of Steel, and then I watched the Ultimate Cut of Batman vs Superman, and then I watched this. And trust me, when you watch those movies back to back, it's so fucking perfect.
It's
Like,
worth it.
yes, the one thing that I truly love about this Justice League movie is the fact that it's directly part of everything else. You know,
Yeah,
like it's a continuation, and it's like perfectly put together.
and it makes everything else, like all the other movies, make more sense.
Right?
They're
Like
all like one big ass movie.
it's funny because you and I we were all like, "Yo, this movie is great," and Batman vs Superman is really good, and that scene was great and shit like that. And now people are watching the Justice League and they're going back to the other movies, or I feel so.
Yep.
Like now they make sense, like people's like, "What the hell's with this Flash thing?" Blah blah, and then you go here and you're seeing more of it, more Nightmare.
Yep.
Even him talking about it, like, I had this kind of like a dream, like a vision, and Barry was there and he told me Lois is the key and blah blah. And it's like, dudes, like if everybody was patient and just let Snyder just do his chapters,
Yeah.
it all makes sense.
They I don't understand what people thought it was supposed to be, but you've got to let it go. It's a slow burn. It's
And
like a Tarantino movie. You gotta let it go. You gotta let
oh,
all the pieces come together and it'll make sense. Like, just trust him.
I bet you if it was like a Tarantino film, well, people would complain about a lot of feet, and we don't need to see like
We don't
a
need
whole
feet in
lot of
Justice League.
we don't need to see a lot of feet in Justice League. He'll have like so many Wonder Woman feet shots and shit.
Naked feet.
Just her fighting barefoot, like
Yep.
just geared up but barefoot fighting. I have no complaints about the runtime. Once again, we have the comfort, and Snyder we trust exactly, Dro. We are in the comfort of our own home. There's nothing forcing anybody to sit down for 4 hours to watch this movie straight.
Right.
Nobody's being forced to do that. The movie is broken into parts. I tell people like you could just watch it in parts. I watched it a second time throughout the week. I just watched it in
Mhm.
parts and whatnot. Only for the real hardcore fans like you and I
Yep.
will we sit down and watch the whole movie. Like I could literally just that's my comfort film now. Like I could have that in the
Nice.
background just playing while I'm doing whatever, you know? And I would do that.
Yeah.
4 hours just it never felt drag to me.
Nuh-uh.
It it felt perfect. Everything fucking like the tone, like the exact tone, the pacing, everything just fit. And the more I watch it, the more I start, like I told you, the more I start seeing these shots and how perfectly put together they are. And I don't complain about the slow motion at all because I see where he's going with it.
I
That,
do too.
like it's like a moment in the frame. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like these things are like so when the Flash is running just to power up the mother box. All right, and this is like we're gonna talk a lot about the movie here, and it's no spoiler. We already know what happens because the movie came out like in 2017.
Yep.
There's some difference. I mean, not some. There's a lot of differences, but it's
There's a
basically the
lot of
same.
difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically the same story, just a lot of differences that makes it way better. Barry's just running real fast, and it's just how it's shot and how he run. And I understand people make fun of the way he runs, but I think him running is just very like animated and
Yeah.
and how his posture to try to mimic that of the comic books, and it's just something about the angle. And I don't know, man, it's a lot of shit that while I'm watching the movie I'm just like, man, this is like beautifully shot.
The whole movie's like that. It's very
Yeah,
beautiful.
in color and in black and white. It's just
Yeah.
really 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 well done. And the big thing is that how this like it's great, and I know you're loving it, that is so
Mhm.
well received right now.
I do too, and I love that people are picking up on things that weren't in the original cut and people are liking the Snyder, version better
Mm-hmm.
because it's a full story. You've got all the movies that he did since Man of Steel and people are putting them together and it's like s- I hate to be like I told you so, but it's like this is what we've been talking about since the beginning and people are finally getting it and it's like we told you.
Yeah.
We weren't making this up. We weren't trying to force anybody to think one way. That was the whole point of the Justice League. And then for whatever Joss Whedon did, just really fucked it up.
They try to they changed too much of it for a lot of reasons that people are like, why did you change so much of it? It was there
Yeah.
and you should just ran with that. And I get what they were trying to get to, but the point is that Snyder set up this universe, okay? This
Mhm.
universe with these main characters. It's fixed. It's fixed how it is. He had a story to tell, okay? The to me, people complain about how this Superman's not the Superman. No, he is that Superman. He's a variation of that Superman, but he's still that Superman. You and I see that Superman.
Yeah.
You and me see like he's this guy who just wants to do right and there's justice, all that stuff. But he's also a take no prisoner kind of shit. I love it when he finally fucking appears and he's like not impressed. Like
Yep.
yeah, that's what I say. You broke that shit and then kicked his ass and then he just went at it. Like, of course, like this motherfucker died, came back. He's like, I'm here for a reason. Showed up in the clutch like Goku in Dragon Ball,
Yep.
and
He's
just
so
fucking
good.
started wailing and shit. And he didn't have so many words to say. But that's where isn't that part of Whedon's movie that I love because that Superman comes in and he's like more of the like the kind of Superman from back in the day and the one from the cartoon and
Yeah.
shit like that where he's cheerful and he's more making jokes and a little bit happy and stuff like that and stuff. But this is the Snyder verse and in his verse he's a little bit darker but he's still like that. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just it worked. And what actually is way better is the fact that we get more of Cyborg and Flash.
Oh, so much more. And
You
you
know,
get to see this camaraderie and this relationship, like this friendship, kind of aspire between the two of them, and it's so much better than the original.
the Snyder said that he is the heart of the movie, and you see it. He is like the
Yeah.
heart of the movie. It's like really generates around him. We get more deep, way deep. It's like a whole part that's just on just Cyborg himself. And we also get more of Barry Allen, where they're just not, and that's why it feels more complete. Because the other movie was just like, here they are, in your face, you know.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
people felt like, oh, you guys just rushed it. But if this was it, and they saw this movie, then they would have been like, oh, okay, it's good because the movie itself plays as a good origin for technically all three of those characters. Aquaman, you know what this movie made me want to do? Watch Aquaman,
It did, me too.
right? Like it perfectly set up for the movie.
It does.
When you watch Aquaman before, after the other Justice League, you're just like, oh, okay, well, I guess this is next and stuff like that. And they kind of mention it, whatever. But this one, like, literally is like Willem Dafoe's there, and they're talking about the brother and this and
Yeah.
that, and you need to take the throne and your mother and blah blah. And I never see my mother. It literally is just like setting up the Aquaman movie. That right after Justice League, we were like, we kind of want to watch Aquaman now,
Yeah.
because it's
You
just the
want to
next
watch
chapter.
all of the movies.
Yeah.
You want to watch all the ones before it and after.
But now that brings the thing like, oh my god, it's finally there. This is something that's amazing because it's something that never happens. You know,
Yeah.
a movie's made and it's done way differently, and a vision is not presented, and then years and years later, the fans actually got that movie redone, re-released in the original vision.
Mhm.
I don't think anything like that. Like we've been trying to do. There's been people who are trying to do that for like Star Wars movies and whatnot,
Yeah.
or how we all want that Joe Schumacher cut of Batman Forever.
Mhm.
But now it's like this happened. It's becoming successful. Do you think it'll be so successful that it starts a whole trend will we get the David Ayer cut? There's talks of a R-rated Mrs. Doubtfire that exists.
Oh,
Will we?
wow.
Yeah, they said the director said that when they filmed Mrs. Doubtfire, Robin Williams did so many ad libs. A lot of them were raunchy that there literally could be an R-rated cut of Mrs. Doubtfire.
See, that would be awesome. And other movies like Suicide Squad, Air Cut, and Jill Schumacher, Batman Forever, like I would love for them to take a cue from the Zack Snyder Justice League and come out with these better versions and have more storyline. And even if it's a slow burn, like there was like maybe 20 minutes cut out of Ace Ventura because they said it was a slow pace. It's like that's okay. The movies can be slow. It's not a bad thing. Like they don't need to be in your face like Fast and the Furious do, you
They
know?
need they just even Fast and the Furious fucking are long, but it's just how you put it together. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like this movie is very long, but it's like good put together. My fiance does not like Miss Marvel. I mean Captain Marvel movie. At all. She didn't like
Hmm.
it then. She said there was too much Me Too movement going on there. She didn't like the actress. It was just like, But then she was like, look, let's try to see it again, and maybe I'll change my mind because back then I had this thing, and we tried to see it again, and she was still bored by it. Like
Oh wow.
the pacing wasn't good enough, And I understand because I've seen some movies too where I'm like, "Ugh," like the pace is not good enough. Now here's a perfect example of stuff is within the Justice League itself. You have the 2017 Justice League, the theatrical cut, and the pacing was too fast,
Yeah.
way too fast. Everything just bam. And then you have this one that took 4 hours to tell a whole long story, and it's you still wanted more.
I did. I even waited till after the credits to see if there was like a stinger scene and there's not. So
No, that
you
all
don't
those
have to
stingers were
wait.
put in that epilogue, every
Yeah,
single one
after
of
the
them.
epilogue is where you get all the good continuations of what could happen if they let Zack Snyder come back and finish his storyline.
And that's where Dro here says that the Snyderverse petition is going very well right now. Now, if the fans had the power to make the Snyder cut happen, would we have the power to make this finally come you know, into fruition? If like his Snyder movies finally become made, Justice League 2 and 3, would Ben Affleck come back and do his Batman or something like that?
God, I hope so. Like
And
he's
I
such a
and
good Batman.
I saw some little article. I didn't read it. I just saw something that said like Ben Affleck, and I believe it. Like Ben Affleck, I think he would. I mean, he came back. Snyder managed to get Ben Affleck back in the Batman cowl, something he said he'll
Yep.
never do again. And he also managed to get Jared Leto back as a Joker, something he never wanted to do again.
Yep.
All right. Here's a guy who managed to get these two guys to come back to do something that I'm pretty damn sure he can manage them to fucking do a whole movie again.
And they cussed, which was awesome.
They fucking. He said, "I will fucking kill you."
It was the most badass shit ever.
You know what? It's funny. Like I realized the movie is R rated, which is fucking awesome. The movie is
I
R
love it.
rated. I realized that that moment. It was that moment that I went like, even though throughout the movie Cyborg said, "I don't give I don't give a fuck" or whatever shit like that. Fuck people or something and all that
Yeah,
stuff. Like
fuck
people
people.
been cursing. But it wasn't until that very end of the movie when Batman was like, "And I will fucking kill you." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
yo,
he meant that shit.
I got amazed." I got amazed. Dro said he heard some complaints about Blade Runner being slow paced, yet the film has a recut every 2 weeks.
It's sad but true.
Blade Runner is very slow paced.
I
You
love
gotta,
Blade Runner.
you gotta like, you gotta have a knack for that and enjoy it. I
Yeah.
remember I took LP to go see it, and it was at the little small theater right here. They give old movies, not anymore right now, of course. But one night they gave Blade Runner. I was like, dude, you gotta see this movie because this is like a sci-fi classic. This
Yeah.
one's inspired like every sci-fi movie after it. We're watching it, and then it's just all those long like and they're just shots and they're just looking at the city and slow
Long ass
pacing and
shots.
all that stuff and I'm here like, damn, this drags. And then I'm looking at him like seeing if he's bored by it or not and shit like that. And I'm telling him like, yeah, man, I'm sorry. I forgot it drags a lot. He enjoyed it, nothing that he'll probably see again and again, but there's movies like that. Like I remember seeing the Ghost in the Shell anime again, and I remember as a
Yeah.
kid I was like, "Yo," but then I watched it again as a grown. I was like, "Oh my god, this
Yeah, it
drags."
does. But not in a bad way. It's just the
No,
pacing of the movie.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
just how they tell the story.
yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just some things are good for being dragged, some things aren't. Especially if you're not like expecting it, like
Right.
you go in, like maybe you go into a Blade Runner like the new one and expected it to just be bam bam bam, but it just still goes. It takes that same formula as the old movie, so that's why
Yeah.
a lot of people probably didn't accept it for what it is. I think the sequel was fantastic. I enjoyed it, and I would have liked more.
I love the
Mm,
sequel.
yeah, maybe that's what people had. What no, but Tron Legacy was like bam, bam, bam. I don't know, but in the Justice League, Justice League didn't feel like a drag because it had this beat, like it was like it would go slow and then action and then go slow and everything was like just you were just thrown into as long as you keep us interested and throw into the story and
Yeah.
have it flow smoothly. There's no such thing as slow pacing, and I hate when people complain about, oh, there's too much slow motion, too much. It's been confirmed that only 10% of 4 hours is slow motion,
That still seems like a lot.
but it felt like nothing to me felt like it couldn't like dragged out, you know,
Yeah.
like unnecessary slow motion. Nothing felt to me like it was unnecessary slow motion. I felt unnecessary slow motion. It wasn't a Resident Evil movie.
Which one?
I think maybe it's second to last one. I remember she was in like some washing bathroom kind of place of a jail or something like looking kind of shit. And some big monster was coming after her. And she like freaking slid to dodge it. But
I remember that.
that slide just felt like it lasted 10 minutes. And I'm in the theater like just cracking up, just like this is long for no reason, you know? I don't know. That's the only thing that popped in my head like that. I have no problem with fucking slow motion Wonder Woman trying to get her sword and Flash pushing it back to her, or what else? I don't know. Everything was okay. Can we agree that those Amazons were fucking amazing in this movie?
Oh my god, they were so badass. Like in the Joss Whedon cut, they were just so it was so fast paced that you don't really get to see, them shine in the limelight. But in the Zack Snyder version, they were just they're epic. They
They
were
were
so badass.
they were getting down, and and Rosie was all like, "Oh man, look at like she was getting turned on by the girls because they were cut
Yeah, they
to
were fucking ripped.
they were ripped. The ones knocking down the pillars,
Yep.
fucking cut to death, yo."
They were like American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah. All right, D players talking about the Barry Iris scene. Okay, that's probably a scene that people will complain saying like, "Oh my god, it's too long, too fast, whatever stuff like that." I still felt like it wasn't. It was cool. It was sweet to finally get that piece because I
Yeah.
felt like that's an important piece. The Barry and Iris story is like key, even though that's just that part and nothing else. But it's supposed to like the theme of this movie is that it was supposed to set up other movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
just like the Marvel universe does.
So you see it with the Flash. Supposed to set up his solo movie, which has been taking
Hmm.
forever, and now they're finally getting on it. And you saw it with Aquaman. He was literally setting up the Aquaman movie.
Yep,
A
it's
hundred
like a
percent.
total prequel.
Yeah, it was 100% setting up for that damn movie. And then the epilogue of the freaking shit set up like 15 movies. I don't know. It set up like a
Yeah,
whole bunch of movies. It was just like,
especially a sequel to Justice League.
yeah, it was the sequel to Justice League, the fucking Batman movie, and that's pretty
Yeah, a
much it.
Batman, uh, Deadpool movie. Not Deadpool.
Ooh,
Deathstroke.
no. But I want that one too.
Yeah, that one too.
They still haven't released the scene where Batman visits Joker and Arkham. Now, yeah, that's true. I was watching the black and white because I thought I'll have like something new. I haven't finished it yet. I'm just at the final battle. They're fighting Steppenwolf right now. So, but from what I heard so far, I haven't seen anything. But no one told me like it's a different epilogue cut or anything like that in the black and white, which would be nice. But
Did you check the time to see if it's the same time?
it shows same time, so I don't think anything's
Okay.
probably different. But maybe he has more shit said. Look, I got a feeling this guy knows what he's doing, and I read an article that apparently WB is not very happy with his interview circuit right now because he's out there like they were hoping this was just like a one and done. Like, okay, here, you know, here, put it out, give it to them, let them shut up about it already, and blah blah. And that no one would like bat an eye about it later or shit like that. And we all forget about it. But it's blown up. It's
Yeah, it blew the fuck up. They said like their website and their other movies, they've all been blowing up since this came out, and it's extremely successful, and like the IMDb page has been blowing up, and people want more.
yeah, like fandom has been getting countless hits for Justice League, Dark Side, Anti Life
Hmm.
Matter, Mother Boxes, Cyborg, like everything. People's been looking, digging into it. The interest is there. People are finally like very super interested. This movie is doing what the other movie should have did and had people
Yep.
like really like involved and stuff like that. And the only thing that came close to something like this recently was WandaVision. That shit had people going crazy looking into Scarlet Witch and Vision and this and this and that. And now you have Justice League here, just everybody more like interested in going in there. And I don't even know if playbacks of Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman have gone up a little bit more. They
Yep.
should because they're all connected. D Player says Snyder did an interview of how his other two Justice League movies would have been, and we know of this because there was years ago when he was presenting something. I don't know. He did a Q&A with a whole audience, and he basically like gave out the whole
Yeah, he did.
story.
He gave out the whole synopsis of how the movies would have gone, and they would have been fucking just. I think they would just blow people away, like to see the entire vision the way that he had it.
And I think that probably was like the spark that did it, when people
Yeah,
was like, "Whoa, oh shit, oh." Like we literally know what's gonna happen. How's the setup?
yeah,
What's gonna lead to what and what and what? And even with all that knowledge, even knowing the fucking outline of it, we still want it.
yeah. I do. I really do.
And I think this man knows what he's doing because I believe 100% that he knows. Well, I think they all know, or they all knew that this movie was worthy and that if they just got it out there, it could trigger something. And I'm just waiting for the day that I wake up, go on my Twitter because that's like my newspaper.
Me too.
Go up, get on there while I'm on the crapper, and I want to see a post that says WB confirms the Snyderverse will continue, Justice League 2 and Nightmare, and all that shit. Because
Yes.
that's what I want, especially after Jared Leto's Joker showed up, and that was all we needed. I feel like he finally maybe he got some closure because he was like, this is the Joker I wanted to give you, you know?
Yeah.
And seeing them go at it was fucking like magic. And it was even that was the only fucking scene that was added that they added
They
new.
added, yeah.
Yeah, that he shot new. I heard like in his backyard and shit too. Like
Nice.
like he completely just shot it and added it on there and he had to like beg to put it on there. And you wouldn't do it like okay, I know he said it because like look, I feel like we wanted the people wanted to see them both go at it and blah blah and sure like we got it, but I'm pretty sure he's putting this stuff out there in hopes that it sparks something. I know how he said like yo they don't want me to do anymore and I understand I'm cool with it, I won't do anymore, but there's a lot of shit of him pretty much going like hey if you want more keep watching this, keep having
Yep.
people watching this and blah 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 and do this and do that because I know damn well he wants to continue going on and make these movies that I don't know why WB is trying to push away from when clearly that's it right there and it's like a crowd, the crowd is enjoying it now, maybe
Yep.
not then. Do you think then they would have?
I don't think people were ready for something this epic.
Right,
And I don't think people were ready back then, but I think people now that they've had him doing the press releases and the Comic Cons and stuff like that, saying how the story would have gone if he had gotten to do the sequels, now people want more.
now they appreciate shit that we've been appreciating.
Yeah, from day one.
Bastards, man, they just don't know how this guy gets it and makes it a big. These are like they're they're not just Superman, but all of them are like gods, you know, and they're like
Yeah,
big iconic heroes and the whole putting this whole like mythology onto it and shit like that. And I love how much of like this like Superman is like you know their hope, their Jesus and stuff like that. There's all this
yeah,
symbolism going on there and you got Batman when his redemption arc, you know, and you got Wonder Woman, you know, dealing like even there, like she mentions a lot, like I used to love someone and blah blah. Like it fits, you know, like the first Wonder Woman fits into that one. 84 just feels a little bit out of place now, to be honest, but you know, I said it there. It could have been just like a side story, like you know how animes make movies,
yeah.
and it's just like a side story to the actual freaking thing.
Especially like Dragon Ball Z does that.
Oh yeah, like they had like so many fucking Dragon Ball Z movies, and then they had nowhere in there, but you know it happened.
Exactly.
Oh my god. Okay. The players like released the Channing Tatum Gambit cut
Yeah, what happened with that? We never got a Channing Tatum Gambit like they promised.
because Fox was didn't know what to do with their Marvel. I mean, yeah, their X-Men movies. Poor Fox. I mean, have you seen the fucking the Phoenix Saga one part two?
No.
The last X-Men movie they did? Yeah, man. It was like it was okay, but they
Oh wait, yeah, I did see it. Never mind.
yeah they
It
don't they
it was meh.
yeah it was man like it was like entertaining, but it wasn't.
They cussed in that too, and I think he said, "I'll fucking kill you" as well.
Yeah,
Cyclops did.
you know what? They should
He
just
was like,
add that to every superhero movie now.
I think he said something like, "Touch her and I'll fucking kill you."
Ooh, yes. Wait, wasn't he a kid?
Yeah, not a
A-
kid. He's like a young adult.
Apparently, you know, that was also the thing that Fox fucked up. Is like it was every decade, but they didn't get any older.
No, they all look the same.
Yeah, they found the fountain of youth. So hopefully MCU will fucking save all that shit. But now is DCU's chance to try to redeem themselves, and they just gotta piggyback off of this. They just gotta. I just watched a 4 hour movie where I didn't feel it dragged. I didn't feel like it was too much. I didn't feel like this was a waste. And trust me, there's people out there who
Mm-mm.
feel that way. That's not the audience. Basically, it.
No,
There,
find your core audience and stick with them and make the movie that they want to see.
exactly. Don't listen to the people who's like, Snyder can't make movies. Snyder doesn't make movies. It's not a good movie. It's like fuck you. No, it's not a good movie to you. I could mention a fucking movie that's like and people be like, oh, it's great. It's like, well, that's your opinion. You think it is? I don't think so. Of
There's
course,
not
I'm
one Zack Snyder movie I don't like.
right.
I love every movie he's ever made, even Sucker Punch. I was like,
Exactly.
why aren't people watching this movie? This movie's amazing.
They don't. They don't get it. They don't freaking. I don't know. I don't know. They don't get it.
Can we
Snyder should
just,
direct Wonder Woman. I will accept that too. But Wonder Woman was a big deal that it was directed by a woman,
yeah, and
and it
she
was
did a
like
really good job,
she
especially the
did do a
first
good
one.
job.
But can we talk about the man himself, fucking John Jones, the Martian,
Yes,
the Martian Manhunter,
yo, what
finally, and oh my god,
when that first happened, because spoiler alert, there's he reveals himself after talking to Lois. So
yep,
we were watching that, right? And it was just like Martha just came out. And then Roshi was like, whoa, 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 what's going on? Whoa. Because I wasn't looking because someone was walking away. I was like, do you want me to pause it? Do you want me to pause it? And it's just like, what's going on? What? And I look back and it's just like, it was the shot of like, the legs and it's panning through. And
yep.
then the cape showed up and then it showed up. It's like, oh shit. I was like, whoa, it's Martian Manhunter. We had to rewind it so I could see it. Uh, I was like, yes, finally. But it also brings out the question, like, why the fuck did he just sit in the background the whole time?
Right?
He could have been doing a lot in Man of Steel. He could have popped up as
Hmm.
Batman vs Superman, but he was just like, now it's my time. Like, come on.
Regardless, it was so badass to see
Oh,
him in a movie or on the screen. Total, like,
so good.
they didn't make him look different. They didn't try to be something he's not. It was pure 100% John Jones.
And then have him at the you see that's the thing, like you can't just have him come out in the end and be like, yo, Darkseid is coming and I'm gonna help you. Peace, and then that's it. Like just
Dip out.
end. Yeah. You know what I loved is that Batman Bruce was just like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Uh, see
Neat.
you
See you
around.
later. Right on. Cool. See ya. Goodbye.
Oh man. Did you see um Leslie Jones is right from SNL? She was right now she's like the host of the
Yeah.
Supermarket Suite. She was in the Ghostbuster
Yeah, I know who
movie.
you're talking about.
So she did a live like reaction to Justice League on her Twitter, but instead of just like tweeting about it, she actually like recorded
Oh,
it on the
damn.
screen, like her on the screen and reacting to it, and it's the most hilarious shit. I swear to God, like she was funny. Her commentary was hilarious, just screaming at
I
the
would love
movies.
to see that.
Oh man, you got to go to her Twitter or hopefully if you maybe someone put it all together like the funniest parts on YouTube or something because and I was thinking about that epilogue. He has this dream of Nightmare and the Joker and all that stuff, and Superman shows up, and he wakes up, and she's like, "Oh man, if I had that dream, I'll quickly get the phone, call up Clark, and be like, yo, Clark, what's good? Hey man, I love you and everything, right? It's like I just feel like we gotta talk. He had me
I love
cracking
it.
up, and that was fun. That was what was fun about that movie, man, because there was a lot of stuff like it was it was fun, cracking jokes about it, but it was also very well put together, and it was so good and serious. You felt the loss. Everything made sense. Like especially when you watch them back to back, you feel the loss that Lois is going through, that the mother's going
Hmm.
through. You
Oh, it
feel,
was so deep.
yeah. You feel, what Bruce is trying to do, and bring everything together. You get more of a backstory to Aquaman, so it makes the movie even more, gives it more depth. You get more depth about Flash. Oh, the Flash. Okay, you and I, we love the Flash. The Flash TV show has been one of my favorites over the years and stuff like
Me
that.
too.
I didn't even know I loved him so much like that. I collected some comics, I read some shit like that. And then this movie finally gives this fucking character some damn justice like crazy because in the end he's the true hero if you think about it. If you think
Oh,
about it.
because he went back in time and saved everybody?
How fucking dope was that?
That was so fucking. I was like in awe, just total awestruck of
It
how fucking beautiful that was.
it
Otherwise, I mean,
was
basically everybody essentially dies. And he's like, all right, I know what I gotta do, and just ran like a motherfucker.
with that great music they
Ugh.
made for that scene and he's just going at it and then there's this emotional fucking talk about his father and how he's saying like, I'm
Mhm.
look, I'm one of the best dad. I'm one of the goats right now and shit like that. And I'm over here like, I'm about to fucking tear up.
Tearing up.
Dude, it was so good. Like everybody got their moments. Cyborg showed how much of a hero he
Mhm.
was. Cyborg's dad showed how much of a hero he
He
was.
did. His dad was a total badass.
You know, it, Wonder Woman and Steppenwolf had this fucking like personal beef with each other.
They did. I love that. He's like, ah, Amazonian.
He was just talking shit the whole time.
Yep.
The whole time he was talking shit. It was like, I killed all them bitches, especially your mama. She's all like, bitch, square up. My favorite is when he was like, leave the Amazonian, she's mine. And then she go like, I belong to no one. That's when my girl was like, yes, you see?
Ooh.
That. Captain Marvel didn't do that.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't
Absolutely.
like in your face about it, It was like it was just perfect.
That's hilarious.
It's true. It was just good. Those fight scenes were better off. But Batman the whole time felt like he was just like, oh, fuck, man, like what do I do?
Yeah. It wasn't as awkward as in Batman versus Superman where everybody's fighting and he's just kind of like, um, uh,
Yeah. This one he's all like, oh shit, I done fucked up. Maybe I shouldn't have brought him back. Shit. I was kind
yeah,
of happy they kept that. Like I was like, I don't know if this thing is gonna be in it, but they kept that like Batman. I mean, Superman coming back and them going at it and shit like that. D player said, rumor has it, and allegations from actors came up that Josh Whedon actually sabotaged Justice League.
I believe it.
I know Ray Fisher just has like this big thing against it, and when I wanted to see the end of the 2017 Justice League to compare it to this one, and I can tell the difference. But one thing I could definitely tell was Ray Fisher's Cyborg.
Hmm.
And I don't know, maybe because now I know the backstory and stuff like that, and I've seen this version, but there's just you just felt in that one he didn't feel the body. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't
Yeah,
feel the character, while in Zack Snyder's he was completely the character.
yeah,
You know?
fully. And he even said that if uh if Zack Snyder did another one, he'd totally be on board to do more Cyborg.
And I wouldn't doubt it. Like I would be. Like I said, like there was a word saying that Ben Affleck would be down if Zack
Yep.
Snyder's still in. I feel like every piece of those people would be down if he was still able to do it and given the freedom to do it. Like he was just
Yeah,
given the
his
freedom now.
way. Let him do it his way, and Warner Brothers needs to stay the fuck out of his way.
Yeah, just sign the papers and let him do it. D player say he liked the small convo between Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and that's true because that gave a little bit more in depth about the Amazonians and the Atlanteans, which
Yep.
this is all supposed to lead up because Zack Snyder said it. It's supposed to happen again, like the Great War before. All
Yeah.
these nations and people are supposed to get together and go against Darkseid and his peeps. You know, so
And that
all
would be
that
a sequel I'd be totally down for.
is a sequel that I hope we get. And you know what? With this new outlet, you guys saw it. They're able to see, like, look, you were able to make a 4 hour movie and put it out here, and you have people watching like crazy. If one day they were like, I don't know if I could do it, but I would love to. If one day they were like, hey, look, everything's cool now. We're putting this motherfucking movie on IMAX. Come and see it.
Yeah.
I'd probably be dumb enough to be like, okay, you know, like it's a spectacle. Or you make that like, oh look, here in the theaters you see this shit, and then later on HBO Max we'll give you this longer cut. You know,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Like the point is that they have an outlet now and they can do this. That's why they did this Justice League movie. You gave us this 4 hour thing where everything was fleshed out, broken into parts. Give him that outlet again and just release these movies on HBO Max if you have to. The point is that we
Yeah.
want to see the rest. A cut was like, I haven't seen Zack Snyder yet. I can't have it spoiled. Like I said, like if you see the 2017, it's not much is spoiled, but
There's some big shit, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it, but
there.
it's a different movie and it's the same movie. It's kind of weird. There's stuff that's almost identical, like the sewer scene and the fight against Steppenwolf at the end, but
Steppenwolf actually having a character.
yeah, he actually has a character now. He has more than just one dimension.
All he was trying to do was get some love, try to get
Yeah,
noticed and shit. Like I say that Steppenwolf was like um fuck what's his name Zuko in the Last Airbender. He's just trying to get the he's just trying to get the Airbender so he could get noticed by Daddy again, kind of shit.
yep.
And I like how like Dro said, a buddy of mine mentioned Steppenwolf's big puppy eyes before I saw the film, and I couldn't stop thinking about it while I was watching it. It's just him like, can Darkseid accept me? Can he bring me back? Can he love me? Kind of shit. And then Darkseid shows up and he's all like, Darkseid. And he's like, what you want? Like, I found it. I can help you. Like, all right, get that for me and you cool.
He's like, bring me bitches.
Bring me all the bitches and we cool. Ray Fisher does have beef with Josh Whedon, but I feel like all that's gonna be. I also heard like he got like some mad investigation going on with Josh Whedon. What's happened to Josh Whedon over the years? Like this was a guy who was like loved for so long, and now it's just he's getting.
I know he's like allegations after allegations, and people are fucking with him. And now we're hearing that he didn't want to do Justice League, and he fucked it up on purpose. And
So why even agree to do it?
yeah, just like Sam Raimi doing Spider-Man 3. If you didn't want to do it that bad, you should have quit. You shouldn't have just made a shitty movie.
He should have, yeah. Maybe that was a contract obligation or something like that, or maybe he was just trying to do the best he could because he loved it so much.
He
That
had
kind of
a
sucks though,
he
right?
had a
Like,
fourth movie in mind. Sam
oh,
Raimi was supposed to do Spider-Man 4, and he fucked up Spider-Man 3 so bad that it never happened.
he fucked it up because they wanted all that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
He just wanted Sandman and blah blah. They were like, put Venom. They're like, no, I just want to focus on Sandman. I got this story. Put Venom.
Yep.
I gotta figure a way out to Venom. That's what happened with Edgar Wright. He was gonna do Ant Man, and then they didn't want
Yep.
to. They couldn't come with agreement, and he just said, "All right, man, it's cool. I'll leave."
Yep, he dipped out. And I would love to have seen his version of Ant-Man.
Yeah, me too. And that's the thing now. Like, we done two Ant Mans. He could have. I mean, they could do something and bring him back for the third one. So I think they already have a director for the third one. I don't know, but speaking of Sam Raimi, he's doing the next Doctor Strange, and I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, that's gonna be epic.
Oh my god, I can't fucking wait. That's gonna be so great, so great. Sam Raimi has this like specific, cool, freaking way of doing things, and those Spider-Man movies, especially the second one, it's like masterpiece. There's certain movies that are masterpieces. Spider-Man 2 is one of them. The fucking Superman 2, the Donner cut, those are
Hmm.
masterpieces as well. You got Batman Return. For me and you, even Batman Forever is a fucking
Forever. Yep.
masterpiece. And then we go, and in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you got like maybe like the first Iron Man,
Ugh,
Civil
I love that
War,
one.
uh, Guardians,
Yep.
Infinity
Guardians of the
War.
Galaxy.
People pick Infinity War over Endgame. I choose them both.
I like
Um,
Endgame better.
Me too. That end is just great. And then in the DC, me and you, it's Man of Steel, Batman vs
Hmm.
Superman. But this one right here, my God, this Justice League is a fucking masterpiece on its own.
I only have two beefs with the whole movie. I personally don't like the 4:3 format. I wish
Uh
it would
huh.
have been in full screen or even like really widescreen.
Mm-hmm.
And they cut out Cyborg saying "booyah." That's my only beef.
That still would have been nice to have.
Yeah,
That still would have been
because
nice
it
to
would have
have.
tied in Teen Titans,
Mm-hmm.
which I love. If they would have tied that in together, I think that would have been great. But I guess cutting that out meant that that was a Josh Whedon thing. But
Yeah,
regardless, it's in the DC universe. It's in Teen Titans, so he should have said "booyah."
I feel you. I feel you. I would have liked to have that too. Just like I
Yeah,
said, like the the Josh Whedon one, I like that kind of Superman attitude at the end.
yeah.
It was pretty decent, but I feel it. I feel Zack Snyder's because I was like, yeah, my Superman that gangster, It's just like not impressed. Just fucking whooped his ass. What I do love is the whole like that final face off where they foiled all his shit and then they're just looking at him and he's looking at them. And they're just like do something and that shit just closes and then he's like, man, fuck, man, I'm just gonna have to grab everybody and we're gonna have to go over there and run on them.
Yep. And what we've been talking about for years and begging for since Batman versus Superman is the black Batman suit or the black Superman
Superman
suit.
suit, yes.
We got it not just like a glimpse like we thought we were gonna get, and we got like a
Mm,
good hour he's wearing it.
full out, just complete
I
black.
thought he was gonna go to the fight with Steppenwolf. I thought he was gonna change suits, but nope. He showed up
Mm-mm.
as Steppenwolf with the black suit on and just beat ass. He beat
Mm.
wholesale ass.
He still kept it towards the end, which I'm kind
Yep.
of like, all right, like I want the red and blue back, He still kept it though, like when he did his little Superman moment. I get it.
I love
So
it.
I like the red and blue back. But according to the nightmare dreams, he gets it back. So,
Yeah.
I hope so. But it's just yeah, that's what we needed. And it's just fucking like it just fit like literally takes place right after the last movie.
Yep.
And it all makes sense why stuff happened. It makes sense why the mother boxes started going. It makes sense why fucking
Hmm.
Steppenwolf started coming now. It makes sense why they knew where it was going. That whole stupid little like the parademons sense fear thing is just out the door. And
Yeah, that was totally gone.
yeah, like thinking
It
back
wasn't
about it is like it made no sense.
it wasn't fear they smelled, they could smell the mother boxes. That
Yeah.
made more sense.
You see all the different shit. Like there was no rooftop scene where Batman is like interviewing some guy and just using him to attract parademons and shit, and
Yeah.
it's different. Oh, the thing that the thing that cracked me up was when he met Aquaman, and then Aquaman goes into the water and those girls started serenading him away,
Yes.
and that one chick grabbed the sweater. She's all like.
I was like, bitch, I would smell a sweater too.
I was laughing. I was like, this chick is like gonna fucking sleep and masturbate to that sweater or some
Oh,
shit. Like,
yeah. Did you see him? Good God. I'm a pretty hardcore lesbian, but Aquaman is hot.
man. Or the time when he just went to the water and just drink. Now, okay, this is also a fucking good question. Like Aquaman, is supposed to care about the ocean and the well being,
Yeah.
right? So why would he drink something and then just smash it right there? The
Because he
fucking
looked dope. He looked badass doing it. He'd be like, yo, that piece of glass is all right. I'm fine with that.
Anyone else wonder what the mother boxes smell like? Is what Dro said.
They smell like Badissi.
Badussi. Straight up Badussi. The player said, I wanted to see Sam Raimi's Mysterio instead of Drone Mysterio. You don't like Drone?
Mhm.
You know what? That Mysterio was dope. First of all, it kind of makes sense, fucking drones
He
making the
did,
holograms
yeah.
and shit like that. It was, but that Spider Man was fucking sweet to me because the moment that Mysterio was fucking with Spider Man and making him see all this shit and going through all this
Yep.
stuff, just took me back to the '90s watching the cartoon and
Me
Mysterio fucking
too.
with Spider Man, and I was like, this is fucking gold, and I love it.
Especially the second Spider-Man computer game where
Mm,
Mysterio's fucking with him.
mm-hmm.
Just like it was perfect. It was
Mm-hmm.
beautiful.
It was
I love
good.
that movie.
Jake Gyllenhaal was killing it, and I loved him
Hmm.
as 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 Mysterio. I I hope he's not really dead. I don't know, but y'all gotta
No,
stop
I
killing
hope
these villains, man. When they're so damn good, you gotta keep them going.
that's what I liked about the Amazing Spider-Man is that he didn't kill his villains. They went to prison like they did in the comics
Yeah,
where they get away.
yeah, that's true. I think that's the only one that died though, because in Homecoming, Vulture just went to jail
Okay.
and was met up with other people, and they were trying to do something. And then in that one, yeah, apparently. Now remember, this is a guy deception, so who knows? Maybe they'll have it that he didn't fucking
Yeah.
die. I don't know. We'll hope. Uh, D player. Only thing that drew me off was during the fight scene with cops around. Why did Batman call him Clark? Yeah, that had me going too. That had me going too. It's like Clark, and I'm and I even said that. It's like, yo, he's saying this guy's name like mad
It's like,
loud.
shut up, shut up.
Did you know that that cop at that park was the original Jimmy Olsen from the Superman movies?
Oh no shit.
Yeah, the one
I
that
didn't
she
even
kept giving
notice
the
that.
coffee to.
Yeah.
That's the OG Jimmy Olsen.
Oh nice. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
so that's a nice little callback. That's what you do after you watch movies. You go to YouTube and you watch all these fucking videos,
Yep.
Easter eggs, and this and that, and you start really knowing more and noticing things. You're like, oh man, that's fucking sweet. Cause this guy knows his material, man. I don't know why people don't get it and stuff like that. And there's like little changes he made. Sure, he had Superman kill someone in Man of Steel, but there was a point to that because it made Superman like he felt like he had to do this. He felt like he had no choice. And after he did it, he regretted it 100%.
Yep.
And that's when he was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be that kind of guy. I'm never gonna kill like that. Um Also in Man of Steel, the whole destruction thing, like he just became Superman. He couldn't control Zod and their people. They
Yeah.
fucking fucked up that whole city and he tried his best, but it was way out of his hands. That led to Bruce Wayne seen this, and then he's like, "This motherfucker is a threat to the world. I gotta stop him." And then you had Lex there, who's like, "This is a god, and gods have to be taken down. I don't trust this guy either." And it's also possibly partly like jealousy. If you know the story of Lex Luthor, he
Yeah.
just hates Superman because he feels like he shouldn't have it, and it should be him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he should feel like I should be that. Uh and then you got Superman who's trying to be the best, trying to save everybody, and he's like a fucking saint and a savior to people. But then he's also being like like criticized and shut down like crazy by everyone on TV and the world and stuff like that. You know, he's being
Mhm.
framed for murder and stuff like that. And then the key point that I always feel like I don't know if people get this is that he goes into the Capitol. He goes there to state his case, you know, defend himself and do it for, you know, what is right. And Lex blows up everybody.
Yep.
And he's the only one there because he couldn't die from the explosions. So you got Superman here who cares about everybody, who is now surrounded in a room full of dead people
Yep.
that he couldn't save.
No,
And
it's
he's no,
heartbreaking, and he felt that
yeah,
shit.
he felt that shit, and it was breaking him. This is when I watched it again. It's like this when I noticed like Lex really fucked these guys up, like
Yeah.
a lot. He manipulated Bruce into wanting to fucking. He knew who the fuck Batman and Superman were
Mhm.
already. He manipulated Bruce into trying to fight him and try to kill him off for him, and he manipulated Superman to try to fight him and basically try to kill themselves off. At the end, he's throwing pictures of Martha all fucked up and gagged and shit like that. Like this is
Yeah.
you're fucking with Superman. They said, you know, like there's no way to fuck with Superman, shit like that. Like psychologically, that's the whole point. You mess with him
Yeah.
psychologically. It's not about just kryptonite and shit like that. You mess with him psychologically.
And that's
But
what he did.
what does Superman do? Here's the thing, right? People complain about the Martha scene. Martha scene is important because Martha, period, triggers something. And
Mhm.
Bruce, he's like, why you say that name? That's the name of my mother and stuff like that. And he's like, Martha. And then Lois comes in, Martha's his mom, you fucking idiot. And he's like, oh shit, you know, he cares about his mom and stuff like that. Like he starts seeing the humanity in this
Yeah.
guy here. And
Yeah,
that's
instead of seeing him just as an alien.
exactly. Here's a guy who's about to die. And what does he say? Save my mom.
Yep.
That's when he's like, gets it. He starts like, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna fucking save your mom because ain't nobody losing their mom on my watch. And even when the world was against him and he had fucking Batman coming at him and all this bullshit, Superman risked his life to save the world.
Yep.
And that made Bruce, Batman, see that, oh shit, I've been fucking up. I let the world change me. And Alfred was in my head the whole time telling me, like, hey man, you're kind of fucking up and you're going a little bit too dark, but I'm
Yep.
gonna let you do you and you'll finally realize, hopefully. And that's when he was like, I gotta make a team and I'm gonna do right and I'm gonna be better for
Mhm.
Superman. This is all the stuff that I don't know if people are seeing, but hopefully now they see.
Yeah.
Snyder knows what he was doing and what story he was telling.
Yep. Bottom line. Let's tell people where they can find us.
Oh, yo, you can find us on HBO Max watching Justice League
All day long.
all day long. Okay. Um, you can find us at machineroompodcast.com. You can also you can see this show anytime on our YouTube at Real Machine Room. And you can follow us on Twitter at Real Machine Room, which, by the way, I need to get back into. When I got the new phone, I haven't got logged into the
Oh shit.
Twitter. Yeah. I keep forgetting to ask you about that. And you can find us here, hopefully, every Sunday around 9 p.m. Central, where we fucking just talk your ears off. And hopefully, you can also be part of the chat room with us and join us with D Player, Just Plain Dro, Spendog, and whomever else is here. I see a couple of y'all there. Don't be shy now. D Player over here saying like Clark Kent, stop fighting, please. Your mother Martha Kent is waiting for you, and your girlfriend Lois Lane is here. What was that? Was that a Justin Lee?
Yeah.
And yeah, you can find us there. But like, and you can find us anywhere podcast is available on Spotify, iTunes, Audible, Google. I mean, we're everywhere, guys. Machine Room Podcast. You know, spend an hour with us, and we'll be happy to have you.
Mhm.
And if you ever want to, just hit us up on Twitter. If there's anything you want us to talk about, there's any little article you see out there and you think is interesting and want our opinion or just
Yep.
funny remarks or whatever, just freaking add us there at Real Machine Room. We'll be happy to fucking go ahead. And if you want to follow me or Hammer of Venus, or why not both, then hit us
Both.
up. You can follow Hammer of Venus on Twitter. Damn, did I
And
say that all wrong?
Instagram.
Shit. I didn't think I said Twitter. I said Twitter or something.
Twitter.
I said something. Twitter.
Twitter.
You can follow her, Hammer of Venus, and you can follow me on Twitter at Nastradamus. I'm gonna have to spell that out for you because it's easier than Hammer. I mean, it's harder than Hammer of Venus. It's
It is.
Naztramix as Nastradamus, and you can find us there on Twitter, and we will constantly, or at least I will constantly start talking about Justice League, and we will both constantly be petitioning to restore the Snyderverse.
All day, every day.
This is something that wasn't gonna happen. They didn't want to happen. Shouldn't have happened. It happened, and now it's here, and it's amazing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? This is like a once in a lifetime thing where we actually not even because we actually had them change Sonic to look better.
We did.
But things happen and hopefully this leads to great things. But thank you all for hanging with us. We had to bid you adieu. We could have kept going on hours and hours talking about Justice League, but unfortunately, we cannot, and we gotta let you go. But remember, listen to us while you're pooping, okay?
Poop show.
Yes, poop show. Go watch Justice League, and then in the future installments, if you ever want to keep talking about it, we're free. We're here to talk and chat. All right. I'm Nostradamus. She's Hammer of Venus, and this has been the Machine Room Podcast. Good night. I don't know if the music's playing, but I hope so. I don't think so. No, it's not really playing. Now it is. You know what? Production is production is hard, guys. I'm sorry, but I swear next time we'll try better.